G'day, Jarrad Mahon from Investors Edge Real Estate, bringing you my latest Perth property market update, where I'm going to try to answer for you the question of what now for the Perth sale market and the rental market. So let's get stuck into it, shall we? We've got the election out of the way, we've had another interest rate drop last week, so things are starting to get a bit more stable and positive for the economy. But what are the stats telling us? Let's launch into the sale market now. Where we're at on things is the number of properties for sale have gradually been dropping, as you can see in the graph to the right. And what's happened over the last 3 months is we've seen less people coming on the market, and people are being a lot more realistic about their sale prices. So while we haven't been getting more sales per week, we've seen a lot of people hold off from selling, and gradually that number for sale has been dropping. So that's a positive sign. And over the last 6 months, we've actually had a 7.25% decrease in the number of properties for sale. So that's a positive. Over the last year, since August, we've had a 2.83% increase in the number of properties for sale. So we're still coming back to where we were last year, but the number for sale is certainly decreasing and a positive note for us. When we actually look through to the number sold, and this is what I was referring to, there is a gradual downward trend in the number sold, and we're actually still having less sold compared to 6 months ago. So we've had a 14.35% decrease in the number being sold each week, and it's down 13% on last year. So until I see this number being sold per week increasing, I'm certainly not calling any bottoming out of the market. I think the reason that our number for sale is decreasing is really just coming down to people being realistic. So I believe we've got another 3 to 6 months before we bottom out, and then probably another 6 to 12, upwards of 18 months where we trend sideways. Now that said, different suburbs will be performing better in the market and different suburbs will be performing worse. So it's a case of looking case by case, and there is always opportunities for growth and suburbs to stay away from, so we can help you and advise you on your specific situation. Now the days on market, you can see that it was gradually in the graph starting to come down, and then in the July quarter it's shot back up again. So we're now at just over 70 days, 71 days on market average. So yeah, it is taking a while to sell properties. If they are priced right, marketed right, they should still be selling in that first 4 to 6 weeks. So if you're getting to that 70-day mark, you really need to look at what you can do differently. The median house price, again, it started to dip up, which is part of the reason why people were saying we've turned around. I'm saying we're not. We've got at least another 3 to 6 months before we bottom out. You can see that the median house price did drop in that last July quarter, and we're now down at just over 530. Units are bucking the trend a bit, and the actual median is showing a slight increase in price. However, I don't believe that's a true increase. It's more because we're having a lot of newer apartments rush into that market and slightly increasing the average median price that things are selling for. So I don't believe it's reflective of growth, just more that newer product coming through and getting sold. In the apartment selling space, we're actually got quite an oversupply, and I suspect that once that stock has come on the market, we'll start seeing that decrease for a little bit longer before it bottoms. The property clock. Now, I love looking at here and Tom Watt's research. They've indicated a change to the Perth market, that we're starting to near its bottom. So that's another kind of independent sign that we are getting there, but I think it's a little bit early to call yet. You can see what I kind of expect to happen with the flow of money around Australia, and we've seen it before, and I know different real estate agents in Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane, and what they've seen is that after Sydney had their boom, Melbourne had their boom, the money started flowing up to Brisbane and there was a lot of activity into their market. So that's fueling their growth. After Brisbane starts to come off over the next 6 to 12 months, the people that have gained in Sydney, people that have gained in Brisbane will then start to flow the money back down to us. So that's why I'm thinking that'll be the kind of the tipping point for when we start our upward trend again. So a little bit longer till Brisbane reaches its peak, and the money will start flowing our way then. Going into the Perth rental market, we do manage in 128 suburbs, so we've got a fantastically broad view of things. And what the stats are showing us is that the number for rent, I hate to tell and be the bearer of bad news, but the pain continues for landlords. It really has. We've had an increase since February in the number for rent of 15.7% in the number of properties for rent. We've had a massive 34% increase since last year. And look, 3 or 4 months ago, I thought it was starting to flatten, but it's just kicked up again. And we've really got a lot of properties to compete with. So my rental leasing specialists are doing an awesome job, and you really do need a specialist when you're placing and finding a tenant, because normal property managers doing it are just getting eaten alive out there. And it's not unheard of to have 2 to 3 months of vacancy. Other landlords that are coming to us and frustrated with their current managers, we're generally leasing in 2 to 3 weeks, but having to put a lot of effort and do everything as a sales agent would to get them away. The median rent, continuing as the number of properties for rent goes up, that's going to continue to drive the median rent down. More supply with slightly decreasing demand, and we've got a decrease in prices. So we're now down at $380 per week. That's decreased $15 since I last came to you 3 or 4 months ago. And look, I think it's going to go a little bit further before it bottoms out, similar to the sale market. We've had a 5% decrease in that price since February, 6 months ago, and we've had a 9.5% decrease since a year ago. Finally, the vacancy rate, another great indicator. It's up at 6%. It's been holding at that point. We started to decrease it's marginally 3 months ago, which also led to some commentators thinking that the market had turned, but now it popped back up to 6%. So again, I think there's longer to go on things. All of that might sound a bit negative, but the flip side of the coin is that we are able to get some amazing buying opportunities, both for home buyers and investors. And we've now gone solidly into each of the 3 types of properties, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time. It's taken us a long time to set this up. So now we can offer buyer's agency for established, buyer's agency for development, and we can offer new investment sales. And the reason that we've really gone into that is so that we're not biased with what we're recommending. We're looking at your situation, helping you look at your goals and your plans, and then go with the right type of property to suit your comfort zone, the money that you've got, and what you want to achieve. So we do offer a free strategy session to take a look at your situation. We do a rental and a sale appraisal on any properties you have. We also look to uncover any hidden potential. We found some of our owners were sitting on subdividable and development sites without even knowing. That's a great surprise to get. And we can just help you plan your next steps moving forward. You don't need to be looking to buy now, but many of our clients realise after meeting with us that they can take a step if they wanted to. So that's why having an external perspective and someone help you take a look at your strategy is so important. You can request a strategy session through our website there at investorsedge.com/strategy session. And one of the other new features I've released over the last week, we've had a lot of people subscribing to them, is our new buyer and rental alerts. You can register your criteria with us, and when we come across a property that suits, that we list for sale, or a rental property that comes up in our rental portfolio, we'll be sure to let you know. And the benefit of that is some of these properties aren't even going to the open market. We're going to put it out to these priority alerts first, and we'd of course love to keep our tenants. If you are looking to move, we'd love you to move to one of our other properties. So thanks for joining my property investor update today. If you're not already a member of my email list, make sure you go and join so you can get future market updates. And if you do need any advice on your situation for rental and sale, be sure to get in touch with me and we'll get on to helping you with some input. Thank you so much.